what do I have now and what would fit best for me? What would I see myself doing, and or how would I see my own future? I think obviously like nobody really knows their own future. I think it would be pretty boring if we know our own future, what we would be able to achieve, because then we maybe would not put the same effort or would put more. I don't know. It would be different, and then the timelines would change again, and it would just be a Christopher Nolan movie that makes us confused, us all confused. So I see myself working like 5 days at work. My work 5 days a week now. I think for the moment we all have to lean into this direction. This is pretty much what is necessary for us to survive or to be comfortable living in Belgium. I think we have to invest more time than the theoretic 1/3, 33 hours a week. But eventually it's something I would like to work towards. I think working 4 days a week at some pay level, I think it's more beneficial that you also start to work on your own thing or do other thing that fulfill or make you happy other than your job, because maybe when you're making like 10,000 a month, like you have to pay so much taxes that it doesn't even matter if you're making 10,000 a month or 8,000 a month. I think at some point it becomes too much. So I would say, I don't know what I have no idea where my pay grade will go and how fast it will go, but I would say at some level, like maybe at 6,000-7,000 brutto a month, I would say like, okay, now I feel like I'm making enough to sustain myself, sustain the ones around me, and not be too much or get too much more comfort if I work this 1 day extra a week. So that is one possibility, I would say. I think that one is the most obvious one for me. But I think in the meantime, I would like to go even harder on this, leaning towards productive side, because I think I've spared or invested a lot of time in self-development already. I think I can shift my focus a bit more towards being productive, especially when I'm not fully productive at my work. I think I can get more out of it in my free time. And that's why I also think it would be a waste of me to be wasting my prime years or the best years of my life or the most productive years of my life not trying to get or try to get something I really want to do or do the things I really want to do. So I believe for me now, working 5 days a week is okay. If it would be less, it would be better, of course. But I don't think I have too much to worry about. I think my balance is getting better. It's still not the best, obviously, but I think I'm way more centered than before, which makes it more easy because I can switch between the three, and I can, if it's one area is not going as I wanted to go, I can still find the two other fulfillments or whatever in other areas. So for me now, I'm just gonna try to put in as much time, productive time as I can, try to go for the things I want to achieve. And if it gets too much, if I get burned out too much, I'm happy it's a thing nowadays. Like people can more easily talk about it in a working environment, and it's also way more accepted to be like legitimately be burned out about your job. Like you've nothing to look out for, nothing exciting going on in the future. So I think that's a good time. Like obviously you want to do it before you get burned out. But even in older generations, it was not possible to get time off for a burnout or something. So maybe the ultimate goal, and I don't know, it's something I have recently heard, but like maybe the work ethics in Belgium or the work standards has to change. I'm a huge proponent of putting the bar lower and just making, whenever it works, put the bar lower. Like you don't have to overdo yourself at your job if you're not fully achieving one of these emotions or goals in your life, fulfillment, success, or happiness, if you're not finding that in your job, I don't feel like you should be investing all of your time. You should not be working overtime for free. You should not. You should be able to guard your hours and be like, okay, you gave me this 40-hour week contract. I'm working 40 hours. I'm even doing more. I'm sitting in the car for you. I'm going to these different customers. So I would really urge to, be confined or limit your time that you gave away to others in the working environment. And I don't know, maybe go more for self-development or family and friends. I don't know. So it's different for everybody, but for me now, that's about it. I think a lot of people like to believe that the job is everything they want to achieve in life, but maybe if they have more time for themselves, they would be able to envision other goals or other, like, can somebody hold one goal for the, like, I want to run this business for my whole life.
Yeah.
If your job, let's say, it just sucks, and if it sucks so for such a long time, the counterbalance has to be really high in order for you to still feel somewhat happy or respected or whatever in life.
Yeah, it respects you.
I think that way it's more. Yeah, I don't know. It's something you have to be more presently active with. Like, it's not something like if you're working for 5 years and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm burned out. No, it's something you have to remind yourself each step of the way. Like, okay, and just realize, if I make this decision, how will this impact these three different areas of me? How will my family and friends portion of life looks like if I go to the internationally to a different city or to a different country to work? It's all decisions you make, and in the beginning you cannot really know it, but it's always something. Yeah, obviously it's something you should consider, but it's not something you can maintain for a long time unless you have a clear plan. I think you lean onto one of the areas too much, it will always outweigh the other, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a galaxy, or how you say it, a stellar. Also, like, you might be the sun of something and people float around to you in your perspective, but you're also floating around a bigger thing that you don't know. Like, I think everybody is similar. They are the sun of their own galaxy, but they don't know in what kind of bigger life trajectory they're going through space and time, like all, like, they know each galaxy rotates around the center of black mass, and we didn't know that before. Like, it's something similar for me. We don't know this black mass or what is pulling us all together in this same area or the same trajectory in life, but we know it's doing something with us, and that we're all bound by the same flow and direction. I kind of grew up in this self-centered idea a bit more than others, I would say. But I would not say it's the preferable choice. I think kind of defines or shapes a person, how they think and are, and it's not bad to be more dependable on your family or friends, or less dependable on them, or more busy with work or less busy with work. I don't think there's one thing that is better than the other, or
No.
But I think we all have to develop each area in our own extent and to our own extent. And I believe that for me, I have a long time, I've not been very balanced in my life, I would say. I've leaned too much towards self-development or self-fulfillment, I would say, more is a better word, maybe. Instead of relying on family and friends, or working towards something that I want to achieve in my life. So, also, yeah, that's very true. Also more aware of or present in how things are moving around me, instead of just undergoing what's happening to me. I think a lot of people who knew me were know me as a very easygoing, go with the flow person, and like I don't say I want to be a rock in a river, but I want to carve my own path a bit more. I want to, I don't know, be more like a fish that can go a bit more to the sides or a bit upstream if it liked what it saw there. But eventually we all go to the sea, so if we just go down the river or we struggle a bit, we all end up in the same place. But happy with what I was able to say. I always hope for something better, but I guess I just have to grow into it. It's just live also. Things happen and you have ideas of how they're going and then you actually have to realize them and then there are a lot of steps in between. So yeah, I should just be happy with what I can and that I do and just improve upon that. But yeah. Maybe next time that I want to do more in depth, but I always say it, I think.
Really?
I'm just not gonna say it and just surprise you guys one of the times maybe. But anyways, thank you for listening and thank you for listening in close and